Hi guys, I'm Marie from Ramblings of a Daydreamer, and this is what I'm reading week 2. So this week I got a fair bit read, even though it was an insanely busy week. I sort of read little bits and pieces during the times that my computer froze. It was awful this week, so I got quite a bit read. I finally finished reading Flame of Surrender by Rhiannon and Paille. It was an ebook, so it took me a while to read it because I have to read it on the computer, and I work on the computer like anywhere between 8 to 14 hours a day, so having to sit at the computer to read an ebook takes me forever. But I finally finished that, and I don't have the book to show you, but this is what the cover looks like. Rhiannon sent me a whole bunch of bookmarks, signed. They're really pretty. So those will be part of my 400 follower / birthday celebration giveaway that is going on right now at the blog. Be sure to check that out. There's a link at the top and the little button on the side. I also read The Spirit of Nora by Lyle Lee. Excuse me. This book comes out next week, I think. I want to say the 28th. So not next week, but the next week. And this is an advanced reader copy that Lyle sent me. It was really good. I haven't written my review yet, so I won't go into it too much, like what I thought of it. But it's basically set across several decades, from 1899 to the 1920s. And it's about Nora, obviously. And she leaves her home in, oh my god, where? Minnesota. She leaves her home in Minnesota with her best friend Ella. They've been friends since childhood. And they go to New York City to study to be nurses. And something tragic happens there. And Nora leaves to live in Paris with a friend that she made in New York. So she lives in Paris for a while, and then she moves to Russia, and she lives in Tolstoy's compound. Leo Tolstoy? Yes, Leo Tolstoy. Famous writer, Russian writer. And she lives there for a while, and then she travels back to France during the war, and back to Russia, back to the States. All kinds of stuff happens to her. It's this journey that spans a few decades, and it's really an incredible story, based loosely on a true story about the author's great aunt. Yeah, really, really good. My review will obviously be better than that, but yeah, that comes out, I do want to say the 28th of November, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Last week I said I was reading Enthralled, Paranormal Diversions. It's an anthology, bunch of paranormal writers. And last week I had only read the first story, and this week I've only read one other story. I just have been too busy doing other stuff, and I think I'll return it to the library because I've just got too many other books to read. The first 2 stories were good. They weren't, you know, amazingly mind-blowing or anything, but I will eventually get it back, or maybe buy it. The other book I'm reading this week, which I'm so excited about, is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I won Lola and the Boy Next Door, and I'd been on the waiting list for Anna and the French Kiss at my library forever, but somebody must have stolen it, or lost it. Conveniently lost it. That happens a lot with young adult books at my library. More so paranormal books, not generally contemporary young adult books. But yeah, somebody had it for a couple months, so I'm guessing that they just decided to keep it. And I talked to one of the librarians about it, and she said that she figured the same thing happened too. So, Anna and the French Kiss. I'm sure that everybody in the entire blogosphere has heard of this book, if not read it. I'm a little late joining in, but it is so good. Everybody raves about this book. and I've wondered, like, how good could it really be, but honestly, right from the first page, I was in love. I have giggled on almost every page. I just love Anna, and I love St. Clair. Oh my gosh, yeah, so good. I'm on page 122 right now, so I'm not all that far into it, but I am loving it so far, and now I understand why people gush about it. And if it continues on as good as it has been so far, then my review is going to be one of those disgustingly gushy, fangirly reviews. But yeah, really, really good. And I just wanted to read you this tiny little part here. I was really amused by it. I went to Paris when I was 17 for a school trip, and Anna is 17, and she's living in Paris going to school. And a lot of people know that in Europe, in certain parts of Europe with certain parts of people, Americans are sort of looked down on, and I don't mean any offense whatsoever. I love the States. I have a lot of American friends, so I don't mean any offense by this whatsoever. But it is true. Like, in France, when we would be out in groups and we would hear people mutter something about Americans, we were like, no, we're Canadian. And then they'd be nice to us. So, anyway, Anna wants to fit in more. She doesn't want to stick out as an American. So St. Clair says that he'll help her. So this little part, I just found this really amusing. He hands me a yellow padded envelope from his desk, and my stomach dances like it's my birthday. I rip the package open. A small patch falls to the floor. It's the Canadian flag. I pick it up. Thanks? He tosses his hat onto the bed and rubs his hair. It flies up in all different directions. It's for your backpack so people won't think you're American. Europeans are much more forgiving of Canadians. I laugh. Then I love it. Thank you. You're not offended? No, it's perfect. So I just found that really amusing. And then a minute later he says, there, you're officially Canadian. Try not to abuse your new power. And yeah, unless you're Canadian, you probably are like, whatever, but yeah. Being Canadian, being a proud Canadian, and having been to Paris, I just found that extremely amusing, because a lot of times in books, people portray Canadians in a really unflattering light, or they're like, oh, Canadians, they're like, oh, haha, eh, how you doing, eh, like, as if we actually talk. I mean, I say eh a lot, I will admit to that, but I don't talk like that, and I'm not an idiot, and I don't have a dog sled, and I mean, it's more than halfway through November, and it hasn't snowed here yet, but it's snowed in the States. So, yeah, I don't think Canada gets a fair portrayal in books or movies or television. But anyway, that's a rant for another day. So that's what I have been reading this week. I don't think there was anything else. I'm hoping to finish this book this weekend. I have been working insane hours all week, absolutely insane hours, and I'm starting to send out my own book, Blue Sky Days, to reviewers today, which is terrifying. I've been feeling nauseous all morning because it's a mixture of terror and panic and excitement, knowing that people are finally going to be reading and reviewing my book. It comes out January 17th, so I'm sending it out with lots of time so people can read it, especially with the holidays coming. But yeah, I'm going to finish this book, and then I have a whole bunch of books waiting for me at the library. And I've got, like, my camera is sitting on my review pile, which makes me want to barf a bit because I'm such a slow reader, and I've got so many books to read. But yeah, anyway, I hope you all had a good book week. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you've been reading. I love knowing what people are reading. I have an obsession, actually, which is why I love the blog world and finding out what people are reading. Tell me if you have any recommendations. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you, whether you're on the blog or on YouTube. And I don't know if I'll be doing a video next week. I might, but I'm going away Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if I have time Thursday, I might do it Thursday. But if I don't see you next week, I'll see you the next week, and I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.